senior team.
You haven't changed a bit.
Neither of you.
I've got my work.
You're like Benjamin Button. You grew up at a silly age and then you just stayed the same.
Actually, that photo you put up today of the two of us from 8 years ago.
Yeah, my muscle mass looks bigger than
you look
now.
the same. Yeah.
You were a little chubby guy at like 13 and then you just kind of slowly, like no.
I was fat when I was 13.
Yeah, exactly. It's a chubby.
You used to wear at race events, we may as well put this in the podcast, this weird singlet that had the sort of fishnet in it. He used to run around the circuit in a white fishnet vest.
You know the one. I used to wear it at the house, remember?
That one was black.
Yeah, so you have multiple fishnet.
It was about the only thing I wore at the house, wasn't it, Callum?
Yeah, it was a bodysuit.
Yeah. Or you just running around Daffy ducking.
Well, the first time I met Callum, I was shaken because...
He was in awe of my...
No, he looked like a little baby. He still does now. Look at him, he's so precious. He shaved even for the show.
I did, actually.
But his voice was like... was like a thoroughbred.
Like a thoroughbred.
I'm a racehorse.
Alright, even though we've kind of started, let's get a sync clap.
Yeah. That's
Sync
the thing.
clap.
Stick into it.
We'll have to do that quite a few times because
Yeah.
whenever we say something questionable,
He has to
for
stop.
some reason we have to clap.
Whenever you think you've cancelled yourself, basically just clap and then that just lets us know that we need to do some work.
So we already gave him a small briefing, James, didn't we? But whenever you mention someone, we beep their name up because, you know,
That fucking beep.
we don't want to destroy their lives.
Copy that. In what context? Are we talking about in a race situation or are we talking about in a lifestyle situation?
Lifestyle.
No, a bit of both.
So if okay. All right. Let's fucking rock and roll.
Yeah, but if you were talking about the weekend and you were saying, yeah, I was just in front of, who finished second? Porcher.
No, Jahan, didn't he?
Jehan.
No, the one that you actually finished. Either. Oh, was it?
No, it was Porsche.
But if you're saying I was in first and Porcher was second, we're not going to beat Porcher.
Wait, Rory's already realised how much editing he's going to do for this.
so gonna be so much admin.
Callum, tell me, what do you miss most about me?
Obviously,
Having
your
moved
touch
to
at this
America.
rate. No, I'm a lonely man in America.
That doesn't at all surprise me.
No, but I don't
Are you
miss having to
lonely?
clean up your shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair
Simple
enough.
as that.
So when I want to get just straight into this, the leg shaving, was it more razor and sort of foam and your soaps, what have you, or is he kind of a wax guy and he'd leave those lying around?
I don't know what he did in the bathroom. Unfortunately, I could
I
only tell.
don't think
We
we
used
all
to
need
share a
to know.
bathroom, him and I.
I bet you did.
Well, there was this one time we just had lunch, so I mean I mentioned it briefly, but I came home after a hard day's work in Maranello and
So
jumped
finishing at 9:50 in the morning. or-
jumped in the shower, turned the shower and realised that the shower was clogged up with hair,
yes,
and
that was because a certain Brazilian was staying with us.
or a certain Englishman.
No, it was not me. You know, I don't grow that much hair.
Well,
What are you trying to say?
I don't know, but still, I have no evidence that it was the Brazilian that.
Yes, you do. You're just clearly you've been either partying or driving too much because you can't remember anything anymore.
I try to blur those memories
Anyway, he's
out.
trying to avoid the part
He's really-
that I came home one day and Marcus had shaved his legs. Nothing wrong with shaving your legs, but it's a bit
I
strange.
shaved my legs last night, mate.
Exactly. On a Thursday afternoon, he shaved his legs, and I asked him, why the hell did you do that? And the reply was because you were so bored that you shaved your legs. And
I'd always assumed it was cycling related.
well, that's what he says now.
It was.
But you said on the podcast last week that those days are behind you on cycling, and you just said that you shaved your legs yesterday. So give us the lowdown on that one.
Yeah, I don't really know, mate.
You've painted yourself into a corner here, just
Yeah.
like Donald Trump, and now you're just going to have to lie your way out of
The
it.
thing is, mate, I'm quite a hairy man.
No,
I don't-
no.
You are
Not
actually.
anymore.
You
Not
can,
anymore.
Yeah. Well, obviously you shaved your legs last night, but
From the eyelashes down, I'm a hairless human being, and I want to keep it that way because, like, I think it'd be
You
weird.
missed your arms.
All right, from my
yeah, you have quite hairy arms.
quite hairy armpits, right? Sure, but down there, why am I? This is gonna have to be cut out. 17 minutes, 15 seconds.
No, we're leaving that in there, mate.
No, we're definitely leaving it in.
You dug yourself a hole.
I feel like it went downhill as soon as you said down there. But I'll glaze over that.
He's talking about down in New Zealand.
Of course he was.
Exactly.
Of course he was. But just for the listeners' benefit, we should probably highlight that we're talking about down there in New Zealand when you're
Right.
doing a lot of cycling.
Down under, you're right, sure.
Mm.
Yeah, but now I think it'd be weird if I rocked up and I was like a hairy, like, gorilla, you know? Wouldn't it?
It would be weird if you rocked up as a gorilla, but you could just stop shaving your legs.
Callum, that was one of your fonder memories of Marinello, living with me, no doubt.
Supposedly, yes.
Tell me, what do you think was what was your best memory about sharing an apartment with me for a 2-year span?
We'll go best and worst.
Best and worst. Oh, man, I should have prepared for this.
The best one would probably be a bit more
The
difficult to
best
think of.
was, honestly, after all the times and all the unsatisfaction I had of cleaning up, again, all your shit, was to literally walk in one day into your room and find dog poo on the floor. And as a reward for all my hard work and cleaning, I felt that was just the heavens had landed and paid me back.
Well, hang on, you need to paint the picture a wee bit. So,
Yeah, because I don't believe you guys had a dog.
no, we didn't have a dog, but we had this very large house in Marinello that was right across the road from Fiorano, the track.
No,
And
technically someone else had the large house and
Yes.
we lived in a sub part of it.
we lived in the lower part of the house. It was like 36 rooms. The house was humongous. And they had a dog that lived upstairs.
They had
Oh,
multiple dogs.
okay, all right.
Yeah, they had
Yep.
like 3 or 4 dogs, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they were just babysitting dogs at this rate. Remember that time I had to save one's life?
No.
You don't remember? Okay, that's all right.
No,
We'll
come
move-
on. I'm not moving on from shit. Come on.
No. The
saved
poo
its
one's.
life?
Yeah, because the other one was trying to kill it, and I had to lift it and fight the dog.
Oh, there you go. So there was shit on the floor.
There was shit on the floor, right? So, I don't know, these dogs would always come down and they'd sit in front of the TV and they'd do whatever they do. It was disgusting. And then one night, I'd left my door open, my bedroom door, and one of the dogs had, like, sneaked in, didn't they? What was her
I
name?
loved your room.
Yeah. Anyway, so this dog came in, obviously did its business on my bedroom floor whilst I was asleep. And I've jumped up in the morning and stood, like, straight in this shit.
Oh, yes.
Exactly. I mean, after all the months of cleaning up everything, I was just rewarded. It was brilliant.
So I like stood into it. I was like, no fucking way, this is just happening. And it was alright because in the end, I felt like I had leverage over Elena, who owned the house after that. Where like,
Well, what leverage did you even use?
well, she sort of owed me one, didn't she? She was like, okay, well, I'll make you dinner and we'll let bygones be bygones. Yeah, that was.
There you
So I sort of like thought,
Just, it's all good, bro.
That was in his mind, but you know.
it's not a terrible situation ultimately. But the thing is, the dog did it multiple times.
Yes, the dog did. Unluckily, never on your bed. That would have been funny.
Always seemingly in the same places, just out beside the fridge.
Was it one particular dog or was it just all
it
of
was
them?
the puppy, the newest one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't. There was a little one that like had the tiniest head but the largest body. It was like this big.
Okay.
It was like a
Kind of
beep.
You love don't you? Okay, so that was a memory of Marinello. Give us a more happier memory.
No, that was the best moment.
Oh, so that was the best moment.
I don't know why you thought anything other.
Do you remember the first night we spent in that house together?
No.
I do, because it was like it was almost like a
What
dungeon.
am I missing?
It was like a dungeon.
Yeah, we were in a wine cellar or some kind of cellar.
Yeah.
With a round
It
ceiling.
had strange ceilings,
But
eh?
you could hear a pin drop, and I closed my door, which is on the other side of the house, basically to him, and I shut the door, and I can hear like half an hour later him snoring. Okay, so Marinello, what was your least favorite part of the living with Marcus experience then?
You're again the mess, but you know that's obvious. I've mentioned that multiple times, and there's lots of different situations which, unfortunately,
I wasn't that messy.
You were fucking useless, mate. No, like honestly, if I'd have left
Don't
it,
hold back.
no, you
He's out now. He's in America. He's running away. He can go for it.
you could not do a single thing for yourself.
What, in the house?
Yeah, mate,
It's the first I've heard of this.
I believe that.
you know it.
Yeah.
I was a great housemate.
You were a great entertainment, when you weren't sitting on your phone watching TV at the same time. Like, you're just dirty, mate. Dirty boy.
I actually quite enjoyed sharing an apartment with you.
I can
I bet you
imagine.
did,
I cleaned up all your stuff.
Yeah, a live-in cleaner, basically.
He was never there, basically.
Well, I was never there, and I was always Mr. Sensible. But anyway, I enjoyed the food. I loved the food. We had a nice pool as well.
Do you know,
That's good
funnily
fun.
enough, we lived there for 2 years, and I don't think we cooked once.
No, that we didn't really have a kitchen.
Well, we did have a kitchen.
No, we
but-
didn't have a kitchen. It was tiny. It was like you know if you go well, you've never been camping, but
No.
you
I
know
know,
if you
yeah.
go camping, they give you the little stove, like the one little stove.
Yeah, the wee
and
little
you-
sort of like a Bunsen burner
yeah,
type.
super
Yep.
noodles go on it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that
Uncle
was pretty
Bob.
much our kitchen. You don't even know what super noodles are.
Well, I've never cooked
Uncultured
before.
Swine.
But we went out to basically the same restaurant every evening. You know, in Maranello, there's not a huge amount of places. It's not London, let's say.
Well, there's one sort of ultra Michelin star restaurant in Modena. Is that
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been there?
I did.
Yeah. What was it like?
It
Where
was
they do all
lovely.
the sort of foams and infusions
Yeah,
and
but
all that kind of bullshit.
specialised in parmesan.
Specialised in parmesan.
Yes, there is a whole dish
Okay.
of like 5 different ways of making parmesan, or using parmesan.
Using parmesan.
On
'Cause,
its own, though.
yeah, usually I just inhale it on top of bolognese, but I didn't
Yeah.
know there was multiple ways that you could actually apply
There
it.
is. If you go there, it will cost you an arm and a leg. But if you go there, you
Yeah, I'm
can
into
have
it.
It was good.
Yeah.
Get the wine pairing as well. You love it.
Wine. Yeah. Okay. So is
12
it? So is
courses
it
and 7 wines.
7 wines per
Yeah.
12? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And what? Maybe like a dessert wine at the end or something.
Oh yeah, 2 of them. I think.
Oh,
Lovely.
sign me up.
Did they have vegan meals or not?
No.
Don't sign me up, please.
Oh, mate, you are so boring. It's not even like you care about animals. It's just an image thing for you.
No, it's not.
He doesn't even like animals.
No.
I love animals.
No, you don't.
You are a
No, you
fucking
don't.
animal.
Don't even start.
I love that dog that was always shitting on my bedroom floor.
It's not that you hate animals. You just don't like them. He loves babies. That's the problem.
I do like babies because they're very honest. Your little sister is maybe my favorite person
She's
in the
not a
world.
baby anymore. Unfortunately.
Well, she was when I last saw her,
Yeah. Okay. True.
and she's like you except like way cooler. I think.
And a bit more exciting and outgoing.
Honest. Well, actually, you're
I'm
pretty honest.
I'm very honest.
You used to rip the shit out of me when we were like, not. Wait, you used to use your words verbally and abuse me like shit when we were living in the same house
That's
together.
very harsh. Slightly true, but very harsh. I wouldn't say it like that.
Do you remember the time we went cycling together in Maranello?
Now, did you shave your legs for this?
No, I did not. My legs have. There's not much hair anyway. But
No.
yeah. What? Just us? We never went just us.
No, with all the crew.
Yeah.
Remember, it was you, me, Robert.
I was about mid-pack in all of this. I remember because you guys would go up front and I'd be left because I was the only one in the middle.
So it was like the opposite of the Formula 2 season happening that year.
Exactly. He was. Yeah. 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 They would like play with you. They'd be drafting you at the beginning, and
I
then they'd see a
remember.
little hill, and then they'd just go for it.
Yeah.
And you'd be left like halfway up.
Do you remember Robert?
Yes.
We're leaving Maranello. Like, I look at my Garmin. We're not even 800 meters in, and Robert's come up alongside me, and he's like, "Marcus, I'll race you to that signpost over there." I was like, "Right, okay, let's go." So sprinting, I'm like, "Okay, he's doing fairly well." I didn't even know if I beat him or not. And I remember thinking, he's done pretty
Well,
alright.
let's just say we completed like 6 laps, and I think he lasted 1.5 laps.
No, but after that sprint, it was like a K later. Valerio's come to us, the coach, and
And we
he's
needed
like,
to wait, didn't we?
"Yeah, well, he said, guys, we need to stop. There's a guy at the back. He's going very slowly. Everybody, calm down."
See, I got sympathy from it because like 90% of my life that's been me.
Well, and Robert's at the back, just like toodling along. "Hello, guys."
No, he was not having a good time.
So Valerio had to push him for the whole
Yes.
12K stint, like actually riding up alongside him and just pushing his back.
Yeah. I got on with that. I didn't like it.
You did pretty well, I thought.
Yeah,
Strategically, that's how you made it through, because you didn't spend any energy you didn't need to use.
exactly.
What was the worst training camp?
It was probably the last one we did.
Yeah.
It was in the winter.
Because it's the most
Ooh.
recent in your memory, or?
Well, no, but they had that ranking system, remember, which I thoroughly
They
disagreed
had that
with.
what?
They had a
God.
ranking.
Oh, ranking.
Ranking.
This is brilliant, this story.
Well, okay, so Yeah, I didn't agree with it because unfortunately,
Callum doesn't agree with many things, by the way.
many things. Unfortunately, they judged you on your.
It was very subjective.
Yeah, very, very subjective.
Okay.
But they judged you on, like your team building, your working.
Your attitude, your pride, your humility, like you name it.
Right, so you two are fucked.
And no, he was all right. I was fucked.
What? Hang on.
Yeah,
What?
so-
Humility, and he was fine, but you weren't.
Because I had problems with, shall we say, disagreeing with stuff. I was trying to keep the morale high.
He's very honest, right? So when he is
No. This was fine. This was the first event was like a walking event up the hill, right?
yeah,
And
tramping.
I was trying to keep the morale high, so I was really chatting, laughing because you can. And we find out afterwards that on communication and behaviour and all of this, they scored me like a 2 out of 5. So I was just like, this is immediately bullshit. Immediately. Because I don't want to... And then I was...
Hold up, wait. So first they
What's
rank
our
us
role?
on the actual athletic performance, right?
Yes, which you can't do for walking unless you have issues.
Okay, so there was walking, but then there was also like uphill skiing, or like you had to like what's it
Uphill
called?
No,
skiing.
that was the third day. I'm talking about the first 2. This was... On the end of the second day was when we had this conversation.
Right. Okay.
That was at the end of that
All
day.
right. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, anyway. So yeah...
It's a good thing you're not still annoyed about it.
Yeah, okay. And I've got no, I haven't got over it. But anyway, there was a conversation about these, and these dickheads were worried about being first and second and being judged subjectively on first and second. I was fucking last, right?
Wait. So for I think coming into the third day,
Yeah, okay.
I was somehow leading on points. So I was somehow the best on the attitude side, which Mick took offense to. Remember, Mick was like not happy about the fact that I was leading.
Yeah, so they were arguing about that being
like that's-
P1 and P2.
I feel like arguing about who's got the better attitude is
No.
counterproductive.
But here's the other thing. I'd completed everything up to this point, and multiple other people hadn't completed everything.
No, Robert had an injury. Remember?
And Enzo.
Okay, so I remember Robert couldn't do half the activities.
Yes, and he was still higher than I was.
Beat machine's going to run so hard here.
Still higher than I was. And Enzo as well, because he fell over and stopped on the walking because of his ankle.
Yeah.
Right? So 2 people were higher on the ranking than I was, and I'd completed everything, which was a first for me because I couldn't be bothered to do a lot of stuff. Yeah.
But he was actually trying. I remember looking at Callum like on one of the athletic activities, and I was like, Callum's actually trying. Like, but the coaches just thought he was.
Yeah, because it was beginning of 2020, so it was like the final year where you had to like show what you were doing. So
Oh,
like,
okay.
I will do
Because the beginning of 2020 for a lot of people was when everyone really stopped fucking trying.
it. No, that was slightly later.
I know I did.
Yeah, but this is when we were like, I think the 5 of us. There was 5 in F2 that year.
Yeah. So it was a big
You,
competition.
me, Robert, Mick, and Giuliano.
Yes.
And we were taking this thing like it was we're fighting for Raikkonen's seat, like
Yeah.
on this training camp. And
Unfortunately, I took it very, very badly
He
when
was
they made me last. So I was,
stone bonking last and everything. And Callum is actually trying. So on the last,
that's what pissed me off the most was I actually was being bothered this time. And then we're in this meeting and they were still, after raising all these issues, they were still bothered about them being first or second. And no one was caring about me being fucking last. So I didn't like the fact that no one supported me for the absolute bullshit that it was. So then I've got fed up and walked out.
You
Like Seb
were
Vettel at
expecting some kind of mutiny from...
he didn't walk off. Let me rest assured. Callum made sure everyone know how he felt. So I think was it maybe the second to last evening or the final morning we had like a team briefing. All the guys, all the drivers, all the trainers, everyone. And Callum has, well, for lack of a better word, he's lost his shit. He's just like, this is absolutely unacceptable.
He's out of blue.
He basically said the truth. Like Robert hadn't done anything, and he was still stone bonking last on the rankings.
I was upset. I mean, no, but imagine, right? You're working or whatever, and this goes back to your boss because the boss was not there. And
He
that
was?
No, the boss.
Okay.
The was not there, and that's the report that you get. And fucking Ilott is last.
So there was like this mutual agreement. Okay, the competition's off. There's no prizes. There's nothing because
So I
Callum's
ruined
unhappy.
it for all these guys.
That's good.
I was going to win as well.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
You know what you would have won.
What, a free lunch?
That makes a big difference to you, doesn't it?
A handshake and a disapproving look.
We have to cut that out, unfortunately.
But
No, he's gone. It's fine.
No, but I think Mick was pretty dark as well. Because
He wasn't happy.
the only reason I was leading was because Pierluigi, the trainer, he proper loved me. Like, whenever I was doing something half okay, he'd be like, Marco, sei un grande, sei un
Yeah,
migliore.
but he was the one who stuffed me. He was pretending to be my mate and then stuffed me on the points. Bastard.
He loved me to bits, this guy. And I think Mick was the best. Like, athletically, he was good at all that winter sport stuff.
I've heard
and
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but this guy had never been skiing and actually was not horrendous at it.
Me?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Because I know you don't ski, which has always upset me come like January, February when I'm looking for people to go skiing with. And you're
It's because
like,
I was always karting during ski season in New Zealand, wasn't I? So I never learned how to ski.
yeah, but I did. Well, I wasn't very
You were
good
the
at
most
casting. But
uncoordinated person I've ever met. I don't.
that's true. Actually, true story. My dad tricked me into taking karate for 2 years because he said, "Oh, I want you to be able to sort of defend." And actually, it was the case that my parents were watching me do something on holiday and going, "What the fuck is that?"
We took
We
karate
need to
lessons,
fix this.
remember?
You remember when I flipped Massimo? I got it on video somewhere.
Pull it up. I want to see you flipping Massimo. Our
This is
old,
going to take me a little bit of time.
our old boss of the FDA.
Yeah.
So he's now the CEO of Aprilia. We can't.
So he's going okay.
He is
He's a legend.
He is a legend. He's the best guy ever. And he's the guy that found us and signed us to the FDA initially. And he's taken us to do this karate fighting class.
Taekwondo. Yeah.
Yeah. And Massimo's having a fight with all of us. He wants to fight all of us. And he's like convincing, like trying to get us angry, trying to like get us all riled up. And he's ended up having a fight with Callum. And you know when Callum gets angry, he really likes to show his emotion.
No, he doesn't show his emotions at all.
No. This was when we were just doing flips and we said, Massimo, can I do it to you?
Is this with the pro kickboxer or not?
No, that was another situation. Fucking, that hurt. He got me right on the nose, not once but twice. Do you remember that?
I look so happy.
That was on a training camera.
We're gonna have to throw this one up.
Oh, yes.
That was lovely. There you go.
We'll get it on the screen.
Yeah,
We'll get it on the screen. Can you send that to me?
Yeah, well, I'll say that later.
So if I can digress back, unless you want to talk more about karate, to the point that I was going to bring up about Callum's overseas racing. How are you finding the shift, mate, from European racing lifestyle to obviously joining the American circus and IndyCar and all that kind of stuff? More fun, less pressure, more pressure?
I have to say, obviously, my last year, or the last 2 years of European racing was COVID. So there wasn't really
True.
anyone there, which was a shame because it was like my most successful years in cars. But that's life. Maybe I deal with that better.
It's hard to forget like how good it was, like how good it is now compared to like 2020. Like because you forget so
know.
quickly what it's like. Because now there's so many people at F1 races, it's ridiculous. You can't walk anywhere, and
Yeah.
it's just like totally changed. Like I feel sorry for like you especially when you're kicking ass in F2 and there was no one there to see it or at the race weekends. You know?
my parents didn't even get to go.
That's
a
so
shame.
sad.
That
man.
sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Oh,
But
well.
have they been out to the States?
Not yet.
Okay.
They were just having a great time here. No, I know they will come. I think maybe Laguna the last round.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. My sister and
I'll be there.
school and that.
Your sister's
yeah.
going to be there as well.
Maybe, I don't know.
I might come and babysit, have a bit of a laugh.
Sure.
Actually, I think Laguna Seca is the same weekend as Monza,
You're in
isn't
Monza.
It is actually, yeah. Because I was going to try and come to Monza, but oh well. No, it's different. It's different. Great racing, carnage in a certain way, but very different. You know, you get the road courses, street circuits, and then the ovals. For the fans, it's quite crazy. Like, imagine, you know, you're a 5-year-old kid who loves cars and stuff, being able to go to all these drivers and speak with them.
Yeah.
Like, if you time it right as a fan, you could have a genuine conversation with, you know, like Roman.
That's
me,
what I
whatever.
think's really cool is the accessibility. Even like getting on the grid before the race is pretty easy if you've got a relatively, you know, just not a general admission ticket. You can end up on the
it's
grid
not,
before the race.
but also, even if you are general admission, it's $40. It's
Yeah.
not like you're, you know, paying $500 like it is at the F1 races. And I think, like, I really appreciate that for a lot of people, but it's also, it's different. It needs a bit more recognition, in my opinion, because the racing's
Yeah.
mega.
Definitely.
But, like, the fact that it isn't really notified. Like, I remember when I went to Miami, everyone who knows is like, oh, that's awesome, it's so cool. And everyone who doesn't just kind of goes, yeah.
Everyone who's watched IndyCar says IndyCar is more entertaining than Formula One. It's just getting them to watch it is
Yeah.
what I tend to find. But
I think it's kind of long, and it's kind of in a certain way, even though F1 is very complicated and confusing, IndyCar is also very confusing.
Because the strategy and the refueling and everything.
It's just a mess. Like, you could be leading the race from last out of nowhere, and then at another point you can go from leading the race to being last out of nowhere.
Well, I remember Marcus Ericsson in Nashville.
Yeah,
last
he
year.
went up like that,
Yeah.
had to box for a new wing, was completely last, and then you get it right on strategy.
And he
Yeah.
won, yeah.
It's a weird one, but like that's what's kind of, you always have to try and put yourself in a good position, and then just hope for the best.
yeah, 99% of the race is just jostling, and then the last 1% is, okay, let's see what the result is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the races are like the longest things I've ever done. Like, genuinely, I have done triple stints in Le Mans, and
Luckily, you're an athletic superstar.
exactly.
You're a specimen.
A specimen, the best you can get. But no, like, genuinely, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Like, you get 50 out of 80 laps in, and you're like, Jesus Christ. It's tough.
Physically demanding.
It's
What
so
drags
hot.
on more, the ovals or the roads?
The ovals, again, are very repetitive, and it's kind of a bit like, but they go by kind of quickly when it's
The
all
laps are so
flowing well.
fast, right? Yeah.
I think the street circuits, they take the longest, because there's normally quite a few cautions, and
Yeah.
our race doesn't get shortened.
What was the first race of the season?
St. Pete.
That's
St. Pete's
But do you see my
brutal.
hands after that? I ripped open my hands because of the physicality of it.
But
even watching that race was like long.
And then it was 30 degrees in the car. Like, I had to drive the last stint with my visor open in the car because there wasn't any air coming in. Now we all pretty much in the summer run with these like cool vests.
Yeah.
So there's like an air.
Yeah, they run them in
conditioning.
like supercars and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a lifesaver. It's a genuine lifesaver, because otherwise it's so hot, so hot.
So compared to F2, like from a physical standpoint, how do you rank the two?
So imagine a clean race in F2. Don't take like Silverstone, for example. Take what's in the middle, like Red Bull Ring maybe.
Okay.
But then imagine that you're like fighting the car.
So you drive.
Maybe it's been a long time since I've done that.
So the car's trying to drive you more than you're trying to drive the car.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're not going as high a speed. So like, I would say the steering is comparable, but
Yeah.
you're doing like second gear kind of corners.
Right.
But you're fighting the thing
Yeah.
the whole time. It does not want to go where you want to go, and there's obviously lots of bumps and everything. And then you've got 3 pit stops. So
And then obviously in F2, the more the race goes on, the lighter the steering becomes.
yes, yeah.
And I guess in
But imagine coming out the box 3 or 4 times where it's new tires
Yeah.
and full fuel every time. It gets really, really heavy.
that would suck. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes, like, I would say the first 3 races, it took me to get used to it, because we don't do much testing either.
So you think the first race was the most physical?
Yeah, by far, because I did the 3 races at the end of last year, and that was easy. And then I think obviously we changed a few things this year in a different philosophy. Come to the first race, it was killer.
It wouldn't surprise me if even like the vet said that St. Pete is the worst. Like that one.
It's up there. Their Barber and even Long Beach this year was jumping out our hands in one of the
Because there was
corners.
2 cautions in Long Beach. Or
Yeah.
something? Yeah. Usually there's like 17.
Yeah, but there was just so much rubber. There was a drift. They used the drift cars in the last
That's
sector.
right. Yeah.
And the rubber was like this. So in the race, there was this last corner which you kind of have to overlap the steering on, and it would snap out your hands, and you have to try and catch it with 2 hands. Yeah,
That's actually my favorite thing to do, is just go on the IndyCar app and just watch onboards the whole way. Because like you don't realize that could go wrong at any moment, because you're just fighting the car the whole way.
But you're pushing 100%. So again, it's not like F2 where you kind of take it easy in the high speed, and you're easy on traction. You're making sure that guy does not get in like striking distance of making a maneuver.
In a way, that's cool though, because you can actually just push the whole way.
Yes.
And it actually rewards the guys who are physically fit enough to drive the thing at full capacity the whole time.
Yeah, no, there is that. I mean, guys do suffer at the end. I think we've had a couple in the med center after a couple of the races this year. Yeah.
What,
No,
for
mate,
just
it's
dehydration or what?
Dehydration, heat exhaustion.
My days.
It's a killer. Like, I know, I didn't train massively in F2, right?
I think you're naturally strong, but you...
Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't train much. I'm training every day of the week in Indy.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Genuinely. And I don't. I do it because I have to.
I know how much you hate training.
Yes, exactly.
I remember it was probably a week before his first F1 test in Austria with Sauber, and I just said to him, like, Callum, how much neck training have you been doing, mate? And he's like,
Haven't thought about it.
haven't even thought. So he walked off to his bedroom, and he gets this little stretchy band, and he's sitting on the couch, and he's just like working his neck. I'm like, yes. Can't believe I'm...
Yeah, but I was alright on that one.
No, you were not.
No, the first test, yes.
Do you want to put some money on this?
No, yeah. Then
I have evidence to say otherwise.
No, well, the 2019 one.
The one, no, 2020, yeah.
Which is the one where you rode off the car?
Yeah, that was 2019. That was my first test, 2019, and I didn't have a problem. 2020.
I beg to differ.
That last lap, I rested it through. No, I know the one.
I
rested it through the last corner.
It's even in my favourites. So I'm going to bring it up. I watch that video whenever I'm feeling a bit sad.
Hang on. Okay, now this has been bullying Callum, but what about bully Marcus?
Yeah, I'm into that.
You remember first race weekend of 2020, Red Bull Ring, right?
Yeah, it was one of the best of the season. Can't forget it, mate.
Yeah.
It's one of the best of your life.
And you remember that there was a safety car that came in 7 laps towards the end. Do you remember how many seconds I pulled on you in those 7 laps?
9 seconds.
Yeah, and you remember what your answer was afterwards when I said, "Why are you so slow?"
This is a photo of me after that feature race.
He said he had body degradation.
I had driver degradation. Mamma mia.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, almost.
Oh, it was close. Yeah, and then, but the thing actually I remember most out of that race is I was pretty stoked for it. It was a
Hang
peak
on,
set at
we
number
got the video here.
You just go straight to the last corner.
All right, you're going to have to send
it,
this to Rory.
Here we go.
Yeah,
oh my god.
That's not my fault. That is not my fault.
Neck. Look at his neck. Ciao.
Oh yeah, that's one. Yeah.
You're like a bobblehead.
Mate, that car is driving you. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, but when you drive it once every 3 months, what are you going to do?
Yeah, but you do train your neck prior to...
Yes, I did. I did after Portimao.
I just want to screenshot this. I just want to screenshot.
That is me with a trained neck.
But going back to the F2 feature race in Austria, the thing I remember most about that is Marcus thought it'd be funny with the mask on the podium. And he got the and he basically just waterboarded himself with champagne.
You got it in your eyes, didn't you?
I have no idea, mate. That was a blur. I didn't know what planet I was on after that feature race.
Instead of going for the water, he went straight for the champagne after being...
Well, I could have told you that.
That was like during COVID when I was in my cycling days.
Yes, your weekdays.
How much do you weigh now?
64.
Without kit?
Yeah, without kit.
Yeah, so I'm about 66, 67 without kit now, but I was 61 at that feature race in Austria.
Yeah, so this idiot, right, he listens to one podcast or one YouTube documentary about how to be nutritional and how to train well, and then he lives off of that for a year.
Yep.
So he's just peak idiot.
It's because I'm a big Aleix Espargaro fan, obviously the MotoGP guy, and he's like, he could be a professional cyclist if he wanted to.
I'm sure he could.
Yeah. The difference is, mate, you're a race car driver. You're not a professional cyclist.
Yeah, all you do is sit down and just turn your arms and legs a bit.
And he couldn't even do that well.
It was tough, mate. I didn't want to admit it at the time, but I was like, I need to stop cycling.
Yeah. No, but like, okay, so continuing on to him, right? Yeah. He has an interesting complex.
I think similar to what you just said, he'll hear one thing and then go, yep.
No, there's that, but there's a thing genuinely to do with his happiness, that if he does not train at least 2 hours of the day, each day, he has a bad day.
That's true.
It is very true. I've known him long enough. And at his peak time, which was this 2020 Red Bull Ring, he was on the bike probably, 2 to 3 hours in the day? And then afterwards, you would then do an hour of like abs and body weight and stuff. So it'd be like 3 to 4 hours of training a day.
No, I would do more than two hours on a bike every day back in those days.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds a bit more like you were training for Instagram than Formula 2.
Yes, he was. And we were just for the legs, the shaved legs. But then he could not drive the car. So this was then my methodology for when someone said, you need to get stronger in the car. Look at this Muppet, training 4 hours a day. Still couldn't turn the wheel.
It made no sense though, because when we went karting, I was somehow the fittest when it came to karting.
I think about this all the time, is that race fitness is so different to gym fitness.
No, but karting is very intense, like your heart rate's very high and for whatever reason, you struggled whenever we did karting.
Yeah, but I was still quick.
Yeah, there's other guys. When we were racing in New Zealand, you'd left by then, but when I was racing like Josh Hart and things like that, or Matt Kinsman, who are all like 73 now, because they raced all the time and drove all the time, they were way fitter than anyone who went to the gym for like 5-6 times a week.
Are you trying to say that you went to the gym back in the day?
I did, mate. I used to train at, what was it, CrossFit Newmarket with Aaron Cunningham.
Jesus.
And I actually got half decent at it for a little while, and then I stopped racing. And I went, why am I doing this? And then that's
He can do a
morphed.
muscle up. I know you can do a muscle up because I can't do that. It's the
You
only thing-
can't?
Yeah, but I honestly, remember when we went climbing? I was good at it. For some reason,
because you
climbing.
weigh nothing, I guess.
We weigh the same, mate.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So like for some reason, I was good at that sort of stuff. I didn't. What did I really not like?
Anything?
Cardio. Yeah.
Anything to do with gym?
But yeah, I couldn't do like
CrossFit?
I wasn't. CrossFit. Nah, fuck that. Genuinely.
See, I quite liked it.
No,
I wouldn't now.
So
Oh
the
my
way
God.
the way they made us do it is, for example, we had COVID, right? And then we were told we were racing. So I then get a plane to Maranello. So I'm there for a week before whatever Red Bull Ring. And the first gym session I do is a 2-hour CrossFit session. I
Whoa.
could not walk for 5 days.
No. Yeah.
My physio who came to the races. He saw me on the Thursday. He's like, "What the fuck did they do to you?" Like, I couldn't walk. I couldn't do the track walk.
Yeah.
Do you know one time there was actually a boxing match? There was a boxing tournament between all the FDA drivers.
Now there's a pay-per-view that I would subscribe to.
Do you remember
Yeah,
this?
but we weren't allowed to hit properly.
Yes, we were.
No.
We bloody
it was,
were.
It was jabs.
Was it you
It
weren't
was
allowed to hit
jabs.
properly, or you weren't allowed to hit
It was
properly?
jabs only, remember?
When Massimo gave the briefing, he's like, "Okay, don't kill each other."
Yeah,
all
but that
this-
was till you and Enzo got angry, no?
No, that was Enzo and Robert.
Oh, Enzo and Robert, yeah.
Now that's a match I'd like to see.
So I think in the heats, I made it to the final. I'm a terrible fighter, I'll be the first to admit. But the reason I got to the final was because I was versing him in one of the heats. And
Did I do an illegal shot? Is that why?
Obviously.
I clipped him on the head, didn't I?
No.
Oh no, I got you on the. Did I get you on the stomach?
I don't remember, but
I got him a great hook, I think.
Oh,
no, but I was,
wouldn't you
honestly,
just love to?
if there's one match you'd pay money to watch, it's me versus Callum in a boxing match. He's like, we were hitting each other in the head. I do remember
Yeah,
this.
gently.
But you were like, I'd hit you and you'd be like, eh.
something like that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm there.
He'd be making all these weird sounds. It was like fighting. It was like fighting my 10-year-old brother. It was pretty funny.
Who usually beats you?
And then it was Enzo versus Robert. This
Which was
one,
just chaos.
you could not forget this, because Rob, he rates himself as a fighter, right? He's got
He
his
did
own.
boxing.
He's got his
Yeah.
own gloves. He brought his own gloves along.
Or he's Russian, so they usually just take their shirts off and fight bears. So
Might have to cut that out. So red glove. He's got his golden gloves on, and Enzo's got in the ring, and I'm like egging Enzo on, like, "Come on, mate, it's all or nothing,
Didn't
mate.
he get
Come
hit square in the forehead?
on." Enzo demolished him.
What did he?
Yeah.
I remember him getting one. No. I remember one of the first hits being square in the forehead. Like, ugh. Don't you remember that? And then after that, he went red, like so angry, and then was just like a little machine like this. And then all rules went out the window.
what does he ever call him? Like Baby Shark or something?
So we'd been spending like a full 2 days like learning how to do all this technique stuff, and then Enzo's just fully like
Out the door.
just explodes with anger, and is just going all out brawling with Robert. And actually, to be fair, takes it to him. I think he even beat him. I think on points they said he won.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, all our rules went out the window. That at that point they were just like, stop.
Yeah.
And then in the final was me and Giuliano. And Giuliano,
Okay.
Giuliano knows how to fight.
Yeah, I was
He's
going
an
to say, like,
aggressive-
mate,
His arms are about twice as long as mine as well.
that's only ending one way for you.
He's an aggressive little boy.
I said to Giuliano, I was like, "Mate, just take it easy on me, please. Like, I'm not a fighter."
He looks farm strong. You know what I mean? Like he's not like ripped, but he looks like he'd
Yeah.
know how to carry a
Do you
bale
know,
of hay.
They have a wild boar as a pet.
That
family.
doesn't surprise me
You
in
remember
the
that? You remember-
slightest.
That family on the little place in France has a
Yeah.
wild boar. That wasn't his name like Fred or something. I don't know. And they were all scared of it. Like obviously you would be, wouldn't you? It's a wild boar. But there is brilliant videos of them running away from this thing. Like when it has two phases. It's hungry phase and it's relaxed phase.
It's
If
like Armstrong when he
relaxed-
sees a steak these days. He just runs in the other direction, screams like a little girl.
Oh no.
I have actually been to his house in France, and that
Oh yeah, I remember this when you took the really lovely bottle of wine and then told him like a year later
what are you talking about?
the bottle of Petrus.
Oh right, yeah. Let's not mention that. So
That was New Year's, wasn't it?
going back to our boxing
Yes,
final.
it was. It was.
Me and Giuliano. So I've told him, mate, don't hurt me, please, don't hurt me. And he's like, yeah, no stress. He throws a couple of jabs, and I'm like, mate, settle down, please. And then he just starts killing me. And I turn around, I'm like, Massimo, we need to stop. We need to stop.
He was hanging over the ropes. Like, please stop.
And Massimo's pissing himself laughing. He's like, keep going, mate, push.
I've often thought the best thing to do in the middle of a fight is just stop and just say, mate, settle down, please.
Yeah,
That
then you get
usually
right
solves
hooked.
it. Yeah.
I had a version of that outside the ring.
Let's
Yeah.
not go there
Let's
because
not go
I don't
there.
want to be assassinated.
Right, we'll cut that bit out as well.
Fuck it. I've had a
I
good
don't
run.
get this reference.
Huh?
Oh,
I'll
this
tell-
Yeah.
Okay, we need to cut that bit out.
isn't- okay.
So racing in America is good. Hang on, let me bust the agenda open. Let me bust the agenda.
got an
open. I was
agenda?
gonna, well, there was one thing I wanted to bring up actually, and that we got a lot of amongst the positive comments from all the fans, and thank you, we appreciate it. There was about 5 that all said that you look like a young Elon Musk, which I find endlessly entertaining. If you look at him,
I don't know why you're looking at me for reassurance.
I don't think I look like Elon Musk.
Wow.
I wouldn't really know, to be
Slight,
fair.
there is a slight resemblance,
yeah,
except the IQ is a big issue. Big
Yeah.
issue here.
Yeah, I'm
You're not there.
way smarter than Elon Musk.
Not there.
Emotionally and more intelligent.
well, there was a
Not sure about that.
there was a podcast that you did. I think it would have been in lockdown with David Serra, the Aussie karting legend. He's won like 1,600 national titles. And he asked you, what would you be doing if you weren't racing? And I will never forget this. You said, oh, I'd probably be at uni doing like an engineering degree.
Would you fuck?
I
No
know.
way,
It's
mate.
absolute
You'd
nonsense.
be doing some anthropology on vegan issues and, something
No,
like that.
he would be halfway around Thailand right now with a
Trying to
braid in his
discover
hair,
himself.
finding himself.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly what he'd be doing. He'd be eating cicadas on sticks, doing all that bullshit. It'd just be...
You know the one that all the uni girls have, those pants which are really
with the
baggy?
elephants on them?
He'd be going around that
Yeah.
topless with a guitar on his back. You would have learnt the guitar.
I don't think so. I think you cut out the second part of that answer. When he asked me that question, I said I'd probably be with all my friends in New Zealand being an absolute hazard.
Yeah, that's also true.
that's
That's
the honest
more
answer.
accurate. But the engineering degree, I think we can throw out the
I
window.
think you would be an engineer if you
I
weren't a
wouldn't
driver.
want to do it. I'm not interested enough in it.
You pretty much are, mate.
I could do it, but would I be interested?
Actually, it's a real lame question to ask on a podcast, so I'll do this with a caution. But what do you think you'd be doing if you weren't racing?
Look, and if money was not an issue, because everyone needs money,
Yeah.
I love animals.
Okay.
Genuinely, I love animals, and like I would work with animals because they bring me joy. But I would do it somewhere more exotic, because obviously it's not that exciting.
Yeah, there's not a lot of sort of attention to foxes
Tanzania.
rummaging around bins
Exactly.
and things like that.
Yeah, something like that on like the wildlife protection or something. I like
Okay.
marine biology. but it's a bit
WWF kind of
boring.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I remember like marine biology is the first career thing you hear about, and you go, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah, and then
it's
you
like the example
realise-
everyone uses. Some people are marine biologists.
Yeah, but
and
then
that's
you end
tro-
up testing like fish's poo for the next 5 years of
Yeah.
your life and having to sample the temperatures of the
Yeah,
ocean.
that's the funny thing about school is because when you kind of look at the career choices that you can have off the back of a subject, and you go, "Oh, that'd be fun," and then you go to actually study the subject and go, "This sucks."
But I will answer. So this is my life
Maybe
goal.
he'd be a lawyer. Yeah, I remember he used to watch Suits.
Oh no, I'd get in trouble.
24/7.
Well, apparently
I'd
you
get in trouble.
disagree a lot. So
Yeah, I get in trouble. Objection.
You're very good
Um,
at arguing as well.
Yeah, I'm good at that. So
There
debating,
you go.
maybe something like that. But no, my goal once I earn enough money and I finish with the racing shit is to go and buy a boat and just sail around the
That's
world.
right, you told me that.
Yeah, exactly.
solo
New Zealand.
or crew.
Oh, you've got to have a laugh, haven't you? You've got to
Yeah.
meet some people. But
Yeah.
hopefully the boat's big enough because it'd be a bit cramped otherwise.
Yeah, you want something a little bit more than a catamaran if you're going around the world. But people have done it before, though.
They have done it before, but luxury.
So how far in the future are we talking here?
It depends on the coin.
7 weeks.
So if you win IndyCar next year, make a few dollars.
That's a small catamaran.
No, just
so-
don't win IndyCar. Just win the 500. Couple of million. Done.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you get half.
Speaking of the Indy 500, I'm actually curious to know, how was it like? Was it as scary as it looked?
For the 69 laps that it lasted, great number.
Nice.
It's brilliant. In two ways, it's brilliant because like you're there for, well, technically like 3 weeks, but 2 weeks of Indy 500 stuff, and you've got a whole week of practicing, which you think is a lot, but you actually go through it and it goes quick.
Yeah.
And you kind of like focus during the day on the quali stuff, and then towards the end of the day, you go to the race pace running. So the car then is set up completely differently, and you've got to try and make your car work in the way and temperatures and stuff. And we had days cancelled because of water and rain, and then wind.
Is it harder to set up the car on an oval?
Yes.
That's bizarre to me.
By far, because everything's so
Particular.
Yes, like you wouldn't believe the difference like little things make, and then even the temperature just sends this car out the window. Like that is genuinely the main reason that I crashed, is because it was like 10 degrees warmer than any of the other days that we tested, and it just takes.
Excuse number one, yeah, go on.
No. It genuinely, because we were at the end of the stint, and
A wee gust of wind as well.
Oh, they love to wind gust chat in Austria, mate.
it was turn 2, so it is more subject to wind, but I don't think that was really what did it for everyone. It was more like, I think, the temperature in that corner and the openness of it. But yeah, if you don't have it right, like, it can be one of the worst races of your life. And it ends up like that or whatever.
Yeah.
But an oval where your car is not good is horrible.
Mm.
It's one of the most painful things.
How many ovals have you done?
Texas and Indy.
Yeah.
And then tests.
I
Texas
always
is quite small, no?
No, Texas is small, but it's an average speed
It's
of
fast, man. Like the bankings.
220 mile an hour.
Yeah.
That one you do quali all flat.
Oh yeah, I saw Rosenquist's pole lap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was unreal.
The thing I always say to people about ovals versus road courses, with my wealth of experience being an insurance broker, is that it's a lot like picking out like your favorite t-shirt. If you had like 5 different t-shirts that were all different, like pictures and shit on it, pick your favorite one, you go that one. Or if you had like 5 plain white shirts and you pick your favorite one, you'd be like, oh,
Well, the thing
fuck,
is, they're all
the
different.
same, but
So, okay, I'm going to go two different ways here. Like, first thing is when you do an oval, and everyone looked at Scott's laps, right, of the 500.
which were disgusting.
record-breaking laps, 234 miles an hour average speed. And the first one being like 230.
Obscene.
Yeah, it's
I think he went quicker on the second one too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But everyone goes, oh, that's easy, I can do it. You know, everyone from Europe. And you're like, yeah, the point is when the car's set up perfectly and you get it for all those weeks to that day that it's perfect, that's when you can do that, right? But for all us poor fuckers who are like P9 and backwards, you're lifting on the last laps where it starts like sliding towards
Why?
the wall. Because it's not perfect. You don't get...
No, but why is it's okay on lap 1, but it's...
Yeah, the
Tyres.
Tyres.
Damn it, almost got him.
You almost got me, actually.
So yeah, they start to fade about like lap 3, 4, and so
They start to fade. That's a good way.
Yeah, oh, that was fucking on the... That's
I'm
on the
not-
cuff.
Limit.
more because of temperature, right?
What happens because of temperature?
Faded.
Carry on.
Anyway, no, it's not going. But yeah, lap 3, 4, it's not the same, and it starts skating towards the wall. So you're having to lift, and you don't want to
Awful
lift.
feeling.
Yeah, but so that fourth lap, you end up having to lift.
It looks bonkers fast from like the out view.
It
Yeah,
is.
but you're just following the white line. That's the thing. When you're driving, you're following the white line. It's only when you look at the wall when you're like getting close to it
Like,
coming
Jesus,
out.
I'm
You're
going
like,
quick.
"Ooh."
So I watched the 500 on TV from probably like 07 through to 2015, and then when I went in 2016, like you see it on TV, you see the numbers, and the numbers are impressive, and you see the outboard, it's all very impressive. When you see what that speed looks like live, and you see how big the circuit is and how much time they're taking to go around it, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is like when you crash, right? Everyone who is in a suite knows that someone's crashed from the vibration.
Yeah.
Not from the sound, not from that. They feel like a shockwave come through the suites behind like turn 2, for example, and then you get the bits coming
Those
over.
cars must be so safe. Like,
They're like when you come and see them, they're strong. They're strong. Like it can still go wrong, but they're built to withstand that sort of stuff. And mate, like
you obviously broke your hand as well.
yeah, I'll get to that in a second. But like with my crash, can you imagine that my gearbox is fine? My gearbox, engine, and tub can be repaired.
That's ridiculous.
Shout out to
'Cause
Lara.
You do that in an F1 car, and it's
Yeah, it's gone. Everything would be gone. I mean, I hit the wall at 205. I think by the time I turned around, 80G first impact to the head, not to the car. And then the second one was 75 to the head because I hit the inside one, which is the concrete wall. So yeah,
The second impact was where you did your hand, right?
no, the first one.
Okay.
So I went in thinking I was going backwards, and as you do, you take your hands off because you're done at that point.
You're an experienced crasher as well.
Exactly. And it ended up going in sideways, and the amount of force made my hand basically hit the side of the tub, and pile drove my bone into itself, and then I broke it. And then, the funny thing is, right, the safety crew were there so quick. Like, I was switching all the shit off because the engine was still running. And I look up and there's a dude over the car already as of like 5 seconds after I come to a stop. And he's like, are you all okay? I'm like, I'm looking down, I'm like, legs look fine, arm looks fine.
I bet the adrenaline is
fingers
pumping.
just twitching like that. And I'm like, that doesn't look right. And he's like, no, it doesn't look right. We'll get that checked.
They are good in Indy. Like the IndyCar safety crew actually is fucking awesome.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. They're so quick, and like they're there to deal with everything. And you know, again, the recent one was like George jumping over to check.
Yeah.
And people go like, oh yeah, but you're drivers, what can you do or whatever. You never like
Something.
my engine was still running, so I know exactly where the switch is in an IndyCar or in an F1 car. You can switch it off. You can do something. Of course, the safety people are there. But then if we take a look at Carlos, who caught on fire and was rolling backwards, no one was there.
Nah.
But in Indy, they'd be there.
Yeah.
They'd be there ready with their fire extinguishers and everything.
Do you think that was the biggest impact of your life?
Yeah, for sure.
Indy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because I got 2 of them. No, it's big, but honestly, like the first one, if it wasn't for the hand, I'm fine. I don't have any bruises anywhere. The second one, I got a big bruise like that because it was full front on and the seatbelts. But I mean, considering I hit the wall at 205 miles an hour.
I was actually this morning. I searched on YouTube, Callum Ilott crash compilation.
There's a good one. It's like 5 minutes 12 seconds long.
It was pretty good.
Roughly.
Roughly.
They've probably extended it now. I've had a few.
I have to say, a personal favourite of mine was in Norris Ring.
Oh, that was brilliant. Yeah. You want to know the funny story about that race? So I had qualified pole second that year in F3. And that weekend, my engine blew up. So I then got 3 times 10 place grid penalties, right? That year, 2016, was the last year of the 3 times 10. Then it was 1 times 10. So I started 11, 11, 12. And so I was coming back through, and I got myself up to third by lap 9 or whatever. And I just locked the rears.
It's the most Ilott crash you've ever
And
seen.
instead of... I sent it past Stroll.
Into the hairpin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And straight into Ericsson, who was leading.
Like, there's quite... It's a humongous lunge, by the the way.
Yeah, but I wasn't able... It was meant
boom,
to...
straight in, sideways, and you can see he's realised it's all gone wrong.
Yeah.
And he's like, armfuls of opposite lock, straight into the side of Ericsson.
You know in
so it was
karting, when they do the choke and the full lock, right?
Yeah.
And they continue to lock it all the way into the corner. I did that in an F3 into someone, and he was very angry. Very
Yeah.
angry.
So was it? How similar was it to the Lawson Van der Linde at Norris Ring last year in DTM?
Well, it was unintentional, firstly.
Okay, right. So very different.
Very, very different. But I let's just say he was in the middle of the corner, and I was.
Yeah.
You got to
You were
feel
just
for Ericsson in this.
apex
Oh,
hunting.
I did. I felt very bad.
Marcus
Very bad.
or the
No,
Marcus Ericsson?
Joel Ericsson.
Joel Ericsson.
Yeah.
Yeah, younger one.
The other one I quite liked was in Po, when you were leading
Fuck's sake.
on lap 1.
That one was horrible.
You see, these crashes you just never forget, and it scars your soul for the rest of your life.
The worst again was with Joel in Macau. Remember that? So
This wasn't in the compilation.
No, I have the onboard somewhere. But I was coming to overtake him in 2017, and as I went past, I pulled 2 inches too early, and his wing caught my tyre. I took his wing off, and I got a puncture for the lead of Macau in 2017, which was the one.
no, I do remember this.
Yeah, that was a bad.
It wasn't
bad
broadcasted. It wasn't on the TV.
No, so they just saw me go straight and him go park it in the wall. I
yeah,
think.
that's got to hurt as well.
That one hurt the most out of everything because it was such a small thing. The Po one was just like, you muppet, but
Yeah, because I mean, well, no disrespect to Poe, but Macau's kind of a bigger deal.
that was
It's also
a big
it's
race.
a big journey and like a lot of
Yeah.
testing and different.
That was the one that if you could win, you chose that one to win.
Yeah.
And then it was the most chaotic race of the year for the rest of them. But mate, I would have walked that one. Genuinely, I had so much pace that weekend. It was such a shame.
I remember waking up to watch that race in the middle of the night just to see you out.
That's a common occurrence.
It really is.
Getting used
It's
to it
even
this
like
season.
I was saying in the car over here, like even on the podcast last week, obviously we had the Grand Prix on in the back, and we was we'll keep an eye on the IndyCar as well. We were checking it. Next time we check, Ilott's out.
Yeah, but that wasn't my fault. That just it stopped on me.
Yeah. No, we'll give you that one. We'll give you that one as an excuse. But
The other ones, no. I did fuck it.
And then when in karting, I think one of my favorite overtakes I saw you do
Was it on Norris?
It was on Lando. yeah. La Conca.
Yeah.
Last corner.
European Championships.
You fully mugged him off.
Yeah, no. So the funny one about that was in a heat, he sent it in on me in turn 3, but like it was like I was already in the corner, and you know when you hear them coming and you just know that they're going to send it. So I turned out of it, and he wasn't there. But if I'd have turned in, it would have been a crash. So after
You
that,
would have got a bollocking for not turning in on him.
No. After that, I was like, because I wasn't with Ollie at that time, I was with Dino.
Right.
So they were just like, whatever. And I think I got him back later on. But after that, I was like, if he ever sends it in again, he's going off.
Yeah.
And-
Fair enough.
And he sent it in the final. And this kid was super quick on this race. Like, I was quick.
Well, he weighed about 30 kilos as well.
Yeah, but he weighed nothing. So I knew that it would take they would just lower the pressures for him, and he would be quick the last mid to last part of the race. So I was like, if I send him off earlier on in the race, if I do it well enough, I can probably get away from it. Well, he sent it in on the last corner of La Conca. I got the switchback because he'd gone way too far because he was a bit confident at that time. And I just put him on the grass. So he put 2 wheels on the grass on the exit. And it was enough for him to lose about, I would say, 6 car lengths to get Nico Kari to then come along the inside of him into turn 2 and then put him off completely, and then he was out of the running. So actually, it would have been enough, but Nico helped me there, and I won the world, the European. European's not the worst.
thank God Lando Norris has better things to do than to watch this.
That's unfortunately now, because I never made it. That's my only claim to fame.
Yeah.
Well, my claim to fame is beating you in a kart race.
When?
Well, in FDA, when we had KZ, this is the peak
Yeah,
of
but
my
that's
life.
because I was dead by lap 20.
Yeah, so I
It was a
knew.
25 lap
Did you
race.
ever beat him in Formula 2?
Yeah,
Name it.
probably.
No, even when I stalled, I still got past you.
Which is this 2020? It is, yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't
Well, it'd
do
have to
any
be,
other
yeah.
races.
2020 is like, I don't.
You remember that?
I have no memory of that year now.
You remember Monza? How is Ilott so fast?
On the radio.
Yeah.
You see this red thing, like, always, like, 2 meters more narrow than you in every corner. You're like you can't block his. You can't get to the point where he's not in, like, clean air because he's just got so much grip. And it's like, well, what chance do I have?
You were driving a sponge that year, but we won't go too far into that. But
This is why he's my co-host.
yeah, I can say all the stuff that you want to say that I actually.
So we're casting together La Conquer again.
Yeah.
And him and I are quite a lot faster than the other kids. And we're actually equal. Him and I are.
But this was in KZ. I didn't really do much KZ.
You did the Worlds and a couple of Europeans, right?
One European. I did 2 races.
And we're exactly the same. And I'm like, as long as I make it to lap 20 of 28 ahead of him, I'll be fine. Because he will die. He has no physical fitness in a go-kart.
Not anymore, no.
And I could hear him for like the first 20 laps right on my bumper, and I was like, lap 21, he just like, suddenly the noise was gone, and I was like,
It was like a loss of 8 tenths.
right on cue. Ilott's run out of fuel.
I still finished
physically.
second, though.
Well done, mate.
Thanks.
Who was third? Enzo.
No, he had to take call-ups. I think it was Gianni.
I miss Jenny so much.
Where was that in Italy?
La Conca.
South.
Okay,
Really
south.
south.
What's the best kart circuit in Italy?
La Conca's up there. What do you think?
Sano.
Sano, they changed it, though.
Oh,
since
yeah,
I
they
went
change
there.
it every 5 minutes, don't they?
Should we take a break?
Yeah. I miss chatting shit with you.
Excellent. I'm glad someone misses me. I don't hear that often.
I miss,
No one messages me.
like, gossiping.
Yeah,
You ever heard of the word gossiping, James?
gossip. They used to actually call me Gossip Girl at high school.
Did they?
Yeah,
Doesn't
they used to-
all surprise me.
Gossip Girl, Serena van der Woodsen.
Gossip girl. You are gossip girl.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, yeah, I have heard this a few times.
If
that
you want
are
to know something
Gossip Girl and
about
the-
what goes on in the paddock,
Yeah.
I'm the man.
Yeah,
Well, if you
Radio
want,
paddock. Or we could even make a separate podcast called Callum's Conspiracy Theories.
No, because I would get lawsuited by many people.
But
Got-
it's so funny. It's
Yeah,
like,
but half of them would be bloody true, wouldn't they?
they are. They're all true, mainly.
Okay.
What about
Almost.
Gossip Goat?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to make my own one.
Yeah, Gossip
You can
Goat.
join my podcast.
Coming to you live from Indianapolis.
Our live correspondent.
Meh.
Oh, that was a goat noise. I thought I only just put that together. I thought you just had an aneurysm. Now let's dive into it. So we're talking of Indianapolis. We've had a question in from the listeners.
Who was it? Who sent in the question?
We have. I don't know, mate. You told me. You put me on the spot a bit here.
JHB.
No, it wasn't me. No, it wasn't me. But if we go favorite American food, I can weigh on this myself. But when we were in Long Beach after the IndyCar, you demolished a quesadilla like I've never seen anyone do that before.
Wait, Nickaban _ sent what is Callum's favorite American food.
Nickaban _ Thank you very much.
Well, because in the UK, and especially where I lived in the UK, there's no Mexican.
No,
Right?
terrible Mexican food in the UK.
Whereas in the US, so much Mexican tacos, everything.
It's good, isn't it? Vegetarian
It's so
as well.
much better.
Vegan?
No.
Vegetarian?
No.
Pescatarian?
No.
No?
Just
pure American
pork,
meat goodness.
chicken, beef.
Yeah.
You got your porks, your lambs, your bloody
Everything.
your dogs, your cats.
Not there. But anyway,
Get those wet markets in Indianapolis, mate. They're mint.
but
The seagulls.
it's beautiful. That's my go-to food now.
Tacos. Mexican in
Oh,
the
it's lovely.
States. It is so much better.
There's actually a tacos and tequila on Speedway, the main street of Speedway. Very small.
With like a dirty American hot dog to go with it, or just the tequilas?
No. It's you get the tequilas and all your favorite drinks with tacos. It's amazing.
Really?
Yeah. We'll try and find some. It'll be in the bottom.
That
of the
sounds
menu
right up your
somewhere.
alley, James.
Mate, I love a Mexican. I love
No,
tequila. I love
it's so good.
everything.
It's so good. So yeah, if you do make your way over to America next year, that's that, and it's not far from one of the teams. There are two of the teams actually.
There you go.
We can hear that, Rory, by the way.
Rory's just tucking into a Kinder Bueno.
No bueno. Yeah, so
we'll let you
that's-
eat it, mate.
That's it, Mexican.
Yeah.
And a Kinder.
When
I
was
miss the days of Kinder.
When was the last time you were in the States?
The last time
Properly, not just traveling through.
Nashville last August.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All
So
right.
have you got a standout restaurant or meal that you had in Nashville?
Well, there wasn't a lot of vegan and vegetarian stuff.
I can't imagine there was.
No,
Thank God for that.
it's like the Las Vegas of the other side of
No,
America.
it's the LA of country music
It's
Yeah.
with
sick.
better taxes.
It is sick.
Texas. Yeah.
It was sick. I loved it. It
Yeah.
was like the energy of the place is like it's going to like a Chelsea game,
I've
except
heard-
it's on
I've-
the street.
I've heard very few bad things about Nashville.
No,
It's unreal.
Great. It's great.
The people also, you know, in the UK, if you jump into an elevator and you just like start chatting to the person with you in the elevator,
You'll probably get slapped.
they think that you're ill. You know, like we need to get away from this guy. Where in America,
They think that in London too, but carry on.
No, that's what I mean. That's what we're talking about, London.
in
Oh, right,
London,
right, yeah.
in America, you jump in the lift and they just like start chatting. I'm like,
Yes, yeah.
what a lovely person. Like, they're all,
Can I get a tip?
they want to make friends, you know.
That is, yeah, they do love a tip over there, don't they? That is, yeah, that's tricky.
Still getting used to it.
Yeah, do you ever know how much to do? I usually go 10%.
Ah, you cheapskate. 20. It's got to
Oh,
be
fucking
20.
hell.
18 if you're like a bit meh.
We're not all making millions and billions of dollars in
I know.
IndyCar.
IndyCar superstar over here.
I mean, Rory will be after this podcast.
He's going to earn his money after this podcast, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
The amount of editing he's gonna have to do.
Yeah, exactly. No. Unfortunately not. Not yet anyway. I'm working my way there.
I remember when we lived in Italy, all you ate was pasta ragu,
See?
per favore.
That's it.
Bolognese.
See?
Yeah,
It's just bolognese. isn't it?
bolognese.
Yeah.
It's mega.
Every single night. I think even for lunch sometimes he would have it.
No. So we go to Blanco and I would alternate. One day I'd have the pasta and then the next day I'd have some chicken and vegetables like you would
Mm.
without the chicken.
Well, yeah.
And then I would then go for the pasta again.
I think I was actually a good influence on you because you had to eat well when you were with me because we'd go to nice places.
Yeah, but he always said I didn't eat much and I would eat like just as much if not more than you. Every
But
time.
you'd be eating complete shit.
No, pasta is not shit.
No, but you just order everything and then have some of everything and be like, oh, I'm full.
Maybe.
Yeah.
At least I'm getting the nutrients, you know. getting a bit of your vegetables.
It happens almost every time we go for dinner. You just look at the menu for about 45 minutes and they go, can we just have one of every starter?
Yeah, are you like? I know a lot of women do this, but do you like look at
Careful.
Google Maps? No. It's a genuine thing, and assess the menu before.
Yes, absolutely. Anyone who doesn't look at a menu before they go to the restaurant,
No,
they're
so
crazy.
he's the only guy I know who does that, which is why I've said women.
That's
Right. Yeah, no, I don't do that.
That's not
Exactly.
true.
But my girlfriend does.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So it wasn't sexism.
Oh, Callum.
I do need to leave soon, so if you need to wrap it up.
I wish you the very best in IndyCar.
Thanks, mate.
We're not
There's
doing
been
this.
so much touching on this side of the room.
Every time I put my arm up here, he then puts his arm.
I feel neglected.
I just want to
But-
hold his hand. Hold my hand, Callum.
No, it's all sweaty, and
I'm not sure where your hands have been either.
well, you're
Callum?
worse than me.
I love you lots, mate. I wish you all the best in IndyCar.
We're gonna have to do this again at some point.
Well,
gonna have to do
I've
it
said
again.
it before and I'll say it 100 more times. Friend of the show, Callum Ilott.
Friend of the show.
Round of applause for Callum, making it
There
all
we
the
go.
way from America for today's interview.
Yeah, and
Flew in
I'm
this
off.
morning.
I've got to go to Toronto tomorrow.